Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Zilliqa. This is going to be a lower time frame video. We do have our higher time frame video up above, so check that out if you haven't already. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so we're just going to briefly cover over the two ideas that we're looking for on the higher time frame here. So looking for this potential that what we could actually see here is that we could be looking to form a fourth. Now, if we are looking at a fourth wave here, invalidation of this idea comes by crossing this 0498. And what we'd then be saying is that we want to see either this move develop as A, B, C to the upside, and we see another push up here potentially to this 382 level, which would be here at this zone of this 0429. Alternatively, if we are looking to break down directly from this point where we're starting to say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the only way that this would be possible now is that we would be looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, this would mean this would be an expanding diagonal, and what we'd have to see for confirmation of this would be first a move up past this 0262, because we need to be longer than the previous wave 2 here. So if this is going to be an expanding diagonal, we need to be longer in this wave 4 than in this wave 2. So now if this is the case, effectively what we'd then be looking for would be another 3-wave move to the downside here, looking for this fifth. Now we'd also have to, if we look at this target area here of this 0262, we'd have to then cross this zone of this 0112 area. So this is still alive. It's not my primary expectation, but it's something that's still worth keeping an eye on here. If we just see 3 waves up and we start to reject down in a bigger way, this could actually be what is actually looking to play out here. But what we would need to see is at least this 0262 hit as a target level. Now, the other way we were discussing this is that we were looking for that possibility that we're looking for a 3-wave move to the upside, where this is an A, this is a B, and then this is a C. We also have a variation of this where we look at this move actually being into this high here, and then looking at this whole correction as a bigger W, X, and a Y. Now, if this is the case, this potential here can turn impulsive if we move past this 0488. Though our one-to-one target in this instance would actually be here at this 0315 area. So if we do see price move up here in a 5-wave sequence, we need to be looking out for these 2 levels. We could see this actually develop as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in which case if we get a move up here towards this 0488, this could actually align with this whole move becoming 1, 2, 3. The problem is then that we wouldn't have a lot of space for a 4th wave to develop, so it could potentially still look to move up to this 1618, but it would just be a C wave at that case. Otherwise it would be 1, 2, then we'd be looking for that possibility of another 1, 2 here, and then looking to progress to the upside. So that would be our bullish count. So we're going to actually just come down and focus in on this little bit here and what we would want to see actually playing out if that is the case. So having a look at this idea, like I said, we're looking for this possibility of a break to the upside, either in this way where we're looking for this C wave target in that way, or alternatively we could be looking for a Y wave to the upside, which would be looking to bring us up towards a 0501. Now this could also be a 5-wave pattern here where this becomes a C wave, and instead we have this as A, this is B, and then we have a C wave. So this is still on the cards here for as long as we hold this low. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that count to the upside now. So focusing in on this part of the chart over here, what I'm looking for here is that if we are looking to have a break to the upside, what we would want to say is that what we have here is that this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into here 4 and 5. Now if this is completed in this way, this could also be an A wave, in which case what we could be looking for is a B wave, and then we're looking for the C wave. Now the typical zone we actually look to come down into for a B wave is actually this 0197 to this 0172. Now we have actually come down into this within this move here. So if we do see price do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then we could actually be extending directly from this point, in which case we could look for a direct push up to this 0300 as a 1-to-1 if we are looking at this low point here. Alternatively, if we do look to come back down deeper here, we could actually still be within this wave 2. Now within this structure, we can potentially argue that there could be something forming like a triangle here. If that's the case, effectively what we'd be looking for here is for this high here to maintain at this 0238 and this low to maintain here at this 0195. If we do see something along these lines, what we'd be saying is then effectively this would be A, B, C, D, and then we'd be looking for an E wave before looking to push to the upside. So if we saw a 3-wave move down here, which failed to break down past this low, effectively this would align with that triangle idea. But we could also just argue that this is potentially a 1-2, and then we're looking to push to the upside. So it's going to be important what happens with these lows here. If we continue to hold these, we could actually potentially look to directly push to the upside here. Now, given this idea of coming down a bit deeper here, I do have this based off of a 0.618 retracement. If we did complete where we currently are, 1-to-1 would be this 0.315, and then 1.618 would be up here at this 0.424 region. Now, if we do look to push up here, and this is just a 3-wave move, we need to be careful of that idea of that expanding diagonal, in which case what we could then see is price start to fall away in another 3-wave move to the downside. Alternatively, if we do look to push up directly here and we push up to this 0.424, what we'd want to see is an additional 4th and a 5th wave looking to form to confirm a 5-wave move off these lows. And then that could potentially align with that idea that this is a bigger ABC pattern. Now, obviously, if we do form a 5-wave move like this, what we need to see is how we react afterwards. If we get 5 waves up and we only get 3 waves back to the downside and we find support above this low here, then potentially we could look at that idea that this is 1-2, this becomes another 1-2 here, and then we look to push up in a bigger way. So that's what I'm going to be looking for moving forward, but obviously we need to first confirm this idea. Now, if we are looking at this wave 2 still being in play here, what we could argue is that within this structure, we have something along these lines. So what we'd be looking for is the potential that this could be a W wave here, this could be an X wave, and then we're looking for a Y wave to the downside. Now, technically speaking, we have come down to the 0.618, which would mean that this is possible that this could be completed. If we do have something like a triangle here as well, this would also align with that being a B wave. If we get this A, B, C, D, E idea, and then we break to the upside. Alternatively, if this is A, B, C, D, and then E, and we break the other way down, then we could actually still look for this potential support to come in lower down here between this 0.197 and this 0.172. If we lose this lower range here of this 0.172, it starts to become less probable. We're going to see that push to the upside. Now, within this, the current way that I'm looking at this is that it is possible this Y wave could be incomplete, and what we could have is this is an A wave, this is a B wave, and we still need to see a C wave to the downside. Now, given the current targets here, what we'd be looking for the Y wave as a 1-to-1 would actually be at this 0.186. Now, if we are going to transpose this as a ABC from over here, what we can then see is that 1-to-1 is also looking to push us up into that zone there. Now, it is possible this B wave could push a little bit higher here. Typical zone we'd actually look for a B wave would be here at this 0.229 to this 0.219. Now, if we do move up higher here, this golden pocket is going to be interesting to me because we'd be looking to target out some of these highs here, and that would effectively move up our 1-to-1 target towards this 0.189. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that zone if we do see that play out in that way. Now, it is also possible that within this structure here, we could have this as, like I said, this is A, this is B, and then a C wave down instead. Now, if this is the case, what we could effectively see here, I'm just going to move this over here, is we could see this purple count come into play, where effectively what we could have here is a 5-wave move. Now, if this is the case here, what we'd be looking for is that within these internals, this could actually become 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the way that I'd be looking at this, given the current values that we have here, is that this would only validate by a move down past the 0.182 region, and then effectively what we'd be looking for is this potentially to be extending out, where this is 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3, we'd get a 4th wave and a 5th wave to the downside, and then another 4th and a 5th. Now, within this structure here, we could still technically just have this as a bigger ABC pattern, but I wouldn't want to see this actually break down past this zone here of this 0.160. If we break down past that level, then it becomes more probable that actually what we have here is that this becomes 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get a 4th and a 5th, and then we're going to actually lose this low, and it's going to throw apart that idea of this looking to move to the upside. So that's going to be our invalidations if we take out this low point here at this 0.155. Like I said, the key support zone that we're looking for here is this 0.172. If we start to lose this level here, it starts to become less likely, but what I would still anticipate with both of these counts is that there is still potential here that price could look to the move to the upside. So whether this is A, B, and C, and then we get another 3-wave move and another 3-wave move to the upside, or we get this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we look to get a retracement from there. Or alternatively, if this just becomes ABC, there is still potential to see price moving up in this way for as long as we hold this 0172 area. Coming in here and having a look at the daily CPR lines, what we can see is that we are currently above our central lines, which is sitting here at this 0210 to this 0208. If we do continue to hold these lines, potential upside targets that we could still look to target today is this area here of this 0223 and this 226 region. If, however, we see a retracement down here and we fail to hold these levels, we could see price actually come back down and look to test out this 206. We have this 204, 201, 197 and this level here of this 0192 as potential targets for today still. So if we do see price looking to break to the downside, I will be keeping an eye on these levels, but for as long as we are above these central lines here, we can look to potentially extend, particularly if we continue to hold this current level we're in, because we're above the previous daily high here. If we do push up and we continue to hold this R1 line here at this 214, we could actually see price look to gravitate to the upside. Now, if we come over here and have a look at the weekly CPR lines, what we can see here is that we are currently below our central lines. Now, we have moved down into this S1 line, and what I'd be on the lookout for is that if we do see price push back to the upside here, we could potentially find resistance coming towards this 221 and this 224 area. If, however, we do see price starting to break to the downside, I will be keeping an eye on this 196 as a potential target. And then we have this lower level here of this 180 for the remainder of this week. Now, this lower 180 region would align with having another push to the downside here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that if we do see price starting to fall away. This could align with coming back down here into this golden pocket area. If, however, we do see price starting to break back to the upside here and we reclaim these central lines, during this week, we have the potential to test these 235, we have this 250, and this area here of this 262. Now, price can look to move through these targets. We always need to be aware of that. If we get strong impulses, they can actually move through these zones. Now, having a look at the monthly here, what we can see is we're currently still holding our monthly CPR line here as support. And for that reason, we could continue to see some strength come in here as long as we hold this level. If we do continue to push to the upside here, what I would be interested to see is how we react towards this zone of this 251 for the remainder of this month if we do see a price push up there. And then other targets to the upside that we have here is this 294 and this level here of this 342 as possible upside targets. If, however, we start to lose these central lines here, what we could see is price could actually be gravitated to the downside here towards this 0159, and we have this level here of this 0111. Now, this would be obviously only for the remainder of this month, so there isn't a lot of time left here. What I want to see is if we do see moves up here, I want to see how we react again towards this level. This would align with coming in here and forming a double top, so could be quite an interesting zone to keep an eye on. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.